Hey, Executive Vice President Cody Burkham here with you on April 30th, last Friday of April, and we're going to give you, I believe this is our 12th and final installment of our Hats on the Hill series here. As you've probably been keeping up with through our Hats on the Hill series, this was the last week that the state legislature will meet in regular session this year. They met, I believe, for a total of 108 days. They started back January 14th and wrapped it up. I guess technically it was Wednesday morning about 1 o'clock or so when they technically wrapped up the session here in Little Rock. The last day, about the last 2 days, brought a little added drama to the House, dealing with some gun rights and Second Amendment issues there in the Senate and the House, and that was certainly entertaining to watch. But they finally got that all figured out, voted out, and went home. But as far as legislation that we were working on and following, HB 1920 that I've talked about the last couple weeks here, that's our Beef and Dairy Regulation Review Act. That went over to the House, came back from the Senate, went over to the House Ag Committee, and they passed, or they concurred in the Senate amendment there on the 26th, which was Monday, and then they sent it to the House floor, just a really quick up and down, fully supported vote through the House, and that has been sent to the governor's desk. It is just waiting his signature there. So really great piece of legislation there that got passed right here at the end. Certainly, like I said last week, appreciate Representative Vaught and Senator Gary Stubblefield for handling that piece of legislation for us, and also Attorney General Leslie Rutledge and her staff for making sure that that piece was wrote for us and things like that correctly. So that's that's kind of it on the legislative front here for this year, for this session. Next year they will not be meeting in regular session. They will meet in a fiscal session, but all they're really going to be talking about next year, dealing with next year, is the state budget, and so that's usually a much more condensed version. They usually don't meet about over 30 days or so in the off years, just long enough to handle the budgetary issues. Now, I will say that much like the last year, this legislative session is not normal in the fact that they have not technically adjourned sine die, which means they have not closed out the session. What they've done is they're taking an extended recess. And the reason for that is they still have to come back in the fall after they get the census data from the federal government, and then they have to deal with redistricting of all of our state house, state senate, and congressional delegations areas and districts. So they have to come back in the fall and take care of that. And the reason that they didn't just go ahead and adjourn sine die is because they didn't want to have to wait on a special callback from the governor. By just recessing, they can come back into session just with the approval of the Speaker of the House and the President Pro Tem. So they'll be coming back to take care of that in the fall. And also there's the governor has announced that he will also, after they handle the redistricting issues and stuff in the fall, he will then turn around and call a special election, or not a special election, but a special session to deal with different tax cuts and things. And so we'll certainly be watching that very closely when they come back in the fall. Redistricting affects all of us, cattle producers and all, and we're always interested in tax cuts. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that for you in the fall. I do want to point out three different things, or three constitutional amendments that the legislature has referred to the electorate of Arkansas. You'll see it next year, and when you go to cast your votes in the midterm election cycle. Of course, under state constitution, the legislature can send up to 3 constitutional amendments to the people for a vote, and they did do that this year. One of them is what I call the 60% amendment. So pretty much what it says is that if you want to change the state constitution, or somebody wants to change the state constitution right now, all you have to have is 50%. Under this amendment, if it was passed, it would raise that bar up to a 60% level. There's some feeling at the state legislature, I believe, that it's just simply too easy to change our state constitution. I believe last I read there was 102 amendments to our state constitution, and some would make the argument that it shouldn't be that easy to change. Of course, then some groups would say no, it should be within the general public's grasp to change that constitution here in the state. Another one is constitutional amendment. It's simply the ability for the state legislature to call themselves into special sessions. So currently, right now, if the House and the Senate are both adjourned, only the governor can call them into special session. Under this proposed constitutional amendment, they would be able to call themselves into special session. I believe they would have to have a 2/3 vote in both the House and the Senate to call themselves into special election. Special session, not special election. Second time I've said that. So we'll see about that one. And the last one that was just passed here the other day, it's a religious freedom amendment, and just pretty much what it says is that no kind of government regulation or rule could stifle the ability of religious practices here in the state of Arkansas. So that's the third one that they sent out, and the most recent one that they'll be sending to the electorate of Arkansas in next fall's election. So just if you want to know more about that, I encourage you to visit the University of Arkansas's Public Policy Center website. They have a great breakdown of all three of those constitutional amendments. It's it has no just simply tells what they do. It has no opinions or anything else. So good straight information from the University of Arkansas there. But with that, we're going to wrap up this year's Hats on the Hill, or this session's Hats on the Hill videos. We appreciate all of you that have tuned in every week to know what's going on at the state capitol. We hope you've gained some insight and some knowledge as to what we here at the state office have tried to get out there and do for you, the Arkansas cattle producers. And as strange of a session as it's been, I really do believe that the state cattle and beef industry really walked away with some great wins this year. From our state meat inspection to this final Rules and Regulatory Review Act. There has been some good things for cattle producers, but we know that there's still more to be doing, and there's still more to do. So we're gonna catch a breath real quick, concentrate on our upcoming convention in Hot Springs on July 30th and 31st, and but then we're going to be right back at it, looking at some different laws and things that might need to be updated to benefit cattle producers for the next session. So we're going to keep on after it, and like I said, we're going to be watching them this fall as they come back in. Might do a few more videos in the fall to let you know what's kind of going on there. We like I said, we appreciate you watching our videos, and appreciate your membership, appreciate what you do for the agriculture industry here in Arkansas. So with that, I hope everybody stays safe out there. I'd say we'd see you next week, but we're not going to, or not in a video anyway. But we hope that you're getting out to your county meetings and recruiting members for the ACA drive. That'll be ending here in about 60 days. So we're always stronger when we're together, and so we hope that you'll continue to be a part of our association and recruit those new members where you can. So with that, we hope you have a great day, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you really soon.